All right, I am shooting another video with a screen share just to show you how to protest your property taxes. The deadline is May 15th, and Lubbock Central Appraisal District goes out of the office on the 13th. So I'm not going to bank on them seeing any emails or requests over the weekend. Okay, so if you just have single properties, I'm going to show you how to do that first. And if you've got multiple properties, I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do, go to lubbockcad.org, type in the address of your property right here. This is where I am. You can click on it. It'll give you your assessed value. Right up here, you can actually look at what the assessed value was in previous years. So on this one property, they went from $75,000 to $119,000. And they don't tour your properties. They don't know what kind of condition they're in, what they're worth. They just jack them up. So I protest my property taxes every single year. They raise my property taxes every single year, so I have to protest them. So if you just got one property, or a couple, it's easier to do it online. Go to the property, then click inquiry/protest. Log in, and then oops, click on the first one that shows up. It's a different one than I was on, but you file an online protest. So it's going to pre-fill your information for you. I'm going to show you the key things on this form that you need to do. Appeal reasons. You pick your own appeal reasons. For me, every single one of them falls under this first one, incorrect appraised market value. So you can argue this any number of different ways, so that's the one that I pick. You can give some facts of whatever you have right here. Now this section is the important one, hearing type. Do you request an informal conference? Yes. So what this does, they're going to make a settlement offer. So they'll reach out to you. They'll say, hey, submit your evidence, and we'll try and settle. If you do it this way, you don't have to go to a hearing. You don't have to prove your case. You just work with someone at Lubbock Central Appraisal District, and they could lower your property taxes just like that, an informal conference. So I would always click yes. And then the other thing, I would select in person for the hearing, because on all these other options, video, telephone, written, you have to submit all your evidence first. And not to share all my secrets, but you don't want to give them all of what you're going to bring to the table. So you'll have the upper hand if you do have to go in person and have a hearing and prove to them why your taxes should be lower than they are. You can have all your evidence, and the person who's going to be arguing against you will have nothing to refute that. But if you send them everything you have early, they'll build up ammo to use against you. So I would highly recommend in person if it gets to that stage. And then you can fill out the rest of it. So you hit submit, and boom, you've got your property tax protested. Okay, now if you got multiple properties like me, this is going to save you hours and hours and hours. So what you're going to do, just type in name of one of my entities. Just type in your entity name or your name, whatever name you hold properties in, and hit search. So it'll pull up all the properties under that entity. So what you need to do is you need to make a list of every single property. So you're going to take this column, the address. You could take the owner name. Oops, didn't mean to click on that. You could take the owner name and the property ID, so that it's usually an R followed by numbers. You're going to take those columns, and then you're going to add one column, which is your assessment of what the value should be. And so you're going to just form a spreadsheet with all your properties. That way you don't have to protest them one at a time. So make a spreadsheet. I'll show you a little example right here. Okay, so property ID, you get that R number from Lubbock CAD. Property address, estimated value, entity, and any notes you have. Now, they're probably going to ask me a lot more questions because I didn't put a ton of notes, but it's a good starting place. So on estimated value, you put what number you think it should be at. So whether you think that it should just be the same number as last year, you could put that. Whether you want to put the price you bought it at, you can put that. Maybe, for instance, I have a couple that were marked as vandalized, and so I put that in there, and that value was significantly lower. So you can base the price or the assessment, the tax assessment, however you want. Just know you're going to have to argue it to back it up. But even if you don't win the protest and get the number you exactly want, they're probably going to shade somewhere in the middle of your number and the 2022 assessed value. So it doesn't hurt to try. Quick tip, make sure that you have your assessed value as lower than whatever they have on here. Obviously, you don't want to tell them, oh, I think this property at 116 East 75th should be appraised at $70,000, right? I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie if I don't want to mess with a certain property because I think they got it right or it's in my favor. So anyways, just some little tips there. There's more that I could go into about how to actually win your protest hearing. I have never lost a property tax protest that I have done ever. I've always won, and it's easy to win. So you can base it off a lot of different factors there. I won't go in depth on that, but so you make your spreadsheet. Then you're just going to fill out this form. I can get you this form if you ask me. It's the exact same thing as you fill out online, but it's just in a PDF version. So again, make sure in hearing type, yes, you want an informal conference. Yes. And you want an in-person hearing. And most likely it's going to be the reason for protest is incorrect appraised value. On a lot of these sections, I just put see attached, see attached, see attached. So everything is based on this attachment. So you get this form, fill it out, attach this spreadsheet that you have in there with the IDs, the addresses, the estimated value, and all that. And then you will email it in up here to info@lubbockcad.org. info@lubbockcad.org. That's where you send it in for the protest. You can give them some background information, make sure they got all the info that they need, and make sure you get it in by the deadline of May 15th. I would try to get it in by Friday. So that's why I'm making this video at night, because I know there are some people that let this deadline creep up on you, and now you've got the overwhelming task of having multiple properties that you have to protest. So just do this, submit it, submit the spreadsheet, submit that one form. That one form will apply to everything, so you don't have to fill out 50 forms or however many properties you have. And ideally, what's going to happen is they'll reach out to you and they'll make a settlement offer. And so for me, you know, if I could save 30% on my property taxes, I'll probably take their settlement offer on most of them. If I really think that they're coming in too high, I could accept some, decline some, and then go argue them at the hearing. But if you just want to go the path of least resistance, get them to make a settlement offer, and you can take whatever they give you. You don't really need someone to do this for you. I just showed you everything you need to actually file a protest. There is more info, little tips and tricks on winning the hearing, which I said I've never lost a hearing. But this is what you need to do to get it filed in time if you have either one property or lots of properties in Lubbock County. So hope that helps. If you need any extra info, just reach out to me. I will attach my info somewhere with this video. It's austin@thundersunhomes.com. I'll type that up in here. austin@thundersunhomes.com. You can email me there. And I'm in the business of buying houses and apartments and mobile home parks. So if you got anything, send it my way too. But I really hope that this helps.